Hi everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at codependency and relationships. Pretty fun stuff, huh? And when we're running through these characteristics, you could think about your personal life, you could think about your relationships with your parents, your partner, you could think about work, because like I had said a few weeks ago, codependency really is pervasive and is kind of like a hemorrhage, because if it's showing up in one area of your life, it's certainly showing up in the other areas of your life, and you're the common denominator. And so just a couple of characteristics, like one with unhealthy slash codependent relationships, there is a constant need for approval from the other person. You are seeking your worthiness and your validation externally from other people versus internally, and going, okay, I know I have worth, and because I have worth, I'm going to attract worthy people into my life. There is this over dependency on other people. Another characteristic is you take everything to heart. Like, you just get wounded. So like any sort of constructive criticism is really hard to take. Another characteristic is that you get super burnt out and you're exhausted and overstressed, and you feel overly responsible for solving other people's problems. My mom is the queen of this. Anytime I hear just a suggestion, I like literally have to like make sure that I am like in this empowered state and not falling into like my victim triangle, because it is her it's almost like an obsessive need to fix other people's problems. And it's not just my mom, but that is an actual characteristic. You take on other people's tasks and responsibilities, either at home or again at work. You find that you're getting pretty resentful because you're doing all this stuff and you're feeling underappreciated for doing all the things. And then you expect all the other people to do the same things for you that you're doing for them. So it's this whole cycle. And what's underneath all of those behaviors is fear. It's a fear of rejection. And so when you are having these behaviors based on this fear of rejection, because all anybody wants, and especially the codependent, is all they want is connection and acceptance. And so when you find that you're having these behaviors, and that was just like a handful, like there is like a legit list on like the interweb of what codependency looks like. So you feel free to go and Google it. But what's happening when you start to feel like, if any of these behaviors resonated with you, like ask yourself, like, what's behind these behaviors? What am I afraid of if I start setting boundaries? And how much time have these behaviors cost me? And how can I now shift this so that I could turn inward, find my own self-worth, and start to release some of these behaviors? So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So, even you could, challenge yourself and write out some of these behaviors that you have, and then start to reflect on them and go, okay, where did this come from? Did it come from my mom? Did it come from my dad? Did it come from my culture? And what's the fear underneath? That is always the big question you want to ask yourself. What's the fear there? And why is this fear, and how is this fear stopping me from connecting? Okay, that's it. Next week, we're actually going to talk about healthy relationships in relation to unhealthy relationship. It's a good one, so stay tuned. Bye.